A mixed martial arts fighter has criticized LeBron James for LeBron James's fact-devoid criticisms of the police. Ladies and gentlemen, meet UFC's Colby Covington.
I want to dedicate this fight to all the first responders, all the military out there. You know, this world would not be safe without you guys. You know, you keep us safe, and, you know, not these woke athletes, man. I'm sick of these woke athletes and these spineless cowards like LeBron James.
Mr. Covington wasn't done.
Was the fight tonight a fair representation of what happened when you and Tyron trained together in the past?
That's exactly what happened, you know, in the championship rounds. He would quit. He would just tell his coaches, plain and simple, I'm done. I don't want to train anymore. I can't keep up with Colby's pace. He's too much, and he knows what'll happen if he's burnt out of gas. He knows I'll mark his face up, and he was already cut open badly from the vicious elbows I was landing in the round before, and the body work I was doing. He didn't want to fight no more, plain and simple. He just didn't want to get knocked out unconscious, so he took the easy way out. You know, I don't blame him. You know, he's a spineless coward, just like LeBron James.
You posted on Instagram that you were dedicating the fight to the police department, who's been vilified, and to military heroes. Now that you've won the fight, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
You know, I just want to dedicate this victory to them. You know, all law enforcement, all military out there, men and women. You know, you guys are the real celebrities. You guys are the real heroes of America. Not these woke athletes, not these spineless cowards like LeBron James. You know, it's the law enforcement who protect our communities and keep us safe. You know, all these athletes, you know, they use law enforcement for private security to make sure that they're safe, and now they want to vilify them. They want to talk about the 1% of the 1% of the bad times that they do. What about all the other good things? What about 9/11 when they rushed in and put their lives on the line to save all those people? What about all the good things they do every single day? So, you know, I fight every single day, not only for the Trumps, but for the troops and for law enforcement.
Mr. James, of course, responded.
Anybody can talk from outside, but if they got into the ring, or they got into the arena, probably 10 times out of 10, they shit their pants.
Mr. Covington, your serve.
He tweeted, LOL at the snowflakes that believe King James could even last 10 seconds with me. If that coward had the balls or the ability to kick anyone's ass, Delonte West would have lost his teeth long before his meth habit.
Now, Covington isn't the only athlete criticizing LeBron James for LeBron James's criticism of the police. A foreign soccer star also weighed in, and LeBron James fired back.
You like going to watch basketball?
Yeah. I liked a lot, and I mean, he's a phenomenal in what he's doing. But I don't like when people, when they have some kind of status and they go in and they do politics at the same time what they're doing. I mean, do what you're good at. Do the category you do. I play football because I'm the best in playing football. I don't do politics. If I would be a politician, I would do politics. That is the first mistake people do when they become famous and they come in a certain status. Stay out of it. Just do what you're best at, because it doesn't look good.
At the end of the day, you know, I would never shut up about things that's wrong. I preach about my people, and I preach about you know, equality, social injustice, racism, you know, systematic voting, voter suppression, things that go on in our community. Because I was a part of my community at one point and seeing the things that was going on, and I know you know, what's going on still, because I have a group of 300 plus kids at my school that's going through the same thing, and they need a voice. And I'm their voice. And I use my platform to continue to shed light on everything that may be going on, not only in my community, but around you know, this country and around the world. So, you know, if there's no reason, well, no, I won't say no reason, but there's no way I will ever just stick to sports, because I understand how, you know, how this platform and how powerful my voice is. And he can just ask Renee Montgomery. You know, if I would have shut up and just dribbled, seeing that beautiful Black woman today, you know, be a part of a group where she's part of an ownership group now with the Atlanta Dream down in Atlanta. And it's funny he say that because I believe in like 2018, he was the same guy who said when he was back in Sweden, talking about the same things because his last name wasn't a certain last name that he felt like it was some racism going on when he was out on the pitch. Right? He did say that, right? Yeah. I thought he said that. So I speak from a very educated mind. I'm kind of the wrong guy to actually go at because I do my homework.
LeBron James said, don't come after me. I speak from an educated mind. I do my homework. Really? Remember when Ahmaud Arbery, the Georgia jogger, was shot and killed? Recall what King James said then? We're literally hunted every day, every time we step foot outside the comfort of our homes. Can't even go for a damn jog, man. Like, WTF, man. Are you kidding me? No, man. FR, are you kidding me? I'm sorry, Ahmaud, rest in paradise, and my prayers and blessings sent to the family. Oh, sure, LeBron James speaks from an educated mind when it comes to basketball, but when it comes to police, black relations, the man is clueless. Sorry. Every year, roughly 50 million civilians have an interaction with the police. Out of that, 11 million arrests take place. About 30,000 or more officers are assaulted every single year. Out of that, between 50 and 60 officers are killed. That results in 1,000 civilians being killed. 500 of them are white, 250 of them are black. Now, the police kill more unarmed white every year than unarmed blacks, and I doubt that most of you can name an unarmed white because the media couldn't give a rip. Now, what LeBron James has done is made things worse. If anything, the studies show that the police are more hesitant, more reluctant to pull the trigger on a black suspect than a white suspect. Now, how has LeBron James made things worse? It's called the Ferguson effect.
Well, the Ferguson effect is the twin phenomenon of officers backing off of proactive policing and the resulting increase in crime. Last year, we had the largest one-year increase in homicide in nearly a half century. The vast majority of the victims of that homicide increase have been black. The reason for this crime increase, I believe, is that officers are living today under a false and dangerous narrative that says that they are shot through with systemic racism, that we're living through an epidemic of racially biased police shootings, and that the type of proactive policing that I think is responsible for a 20-year crime decline that this nation has enjoyed is under attack as racially oppressive.
Why don't these athletes tell civilians, comply, you won't die? An anti-cop Phoenix activist found this out the hard way. Maricopa County Sheriff said, okay, why don't you have a shoot, don't shoot drill and you find out what it's like to walk a mile in our moccasins? To the activist's credit, he took them up on their offer, and here's what happened.
So I'm gonna have you put the holster on right inside your belt loop there.
Jarrett Maupin gets his weapon. You might recognize him as a high-profile organizer in the minority community. Just last month, he led marches on Phoenix Police headquarters after an officer shot an unarmed man.
We want his badge, we want his gun, we want his job.
Today, he accepted an invitation to look at things from the other side, agreeing to go through a force-on-force training session with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. 3 scenarios where you have to decide to shoot or not shoot. Scenario 1 is a call about a man casing cars in a parking lot. Maupin approaches the man and starts asking questions.
What? Where you have your hand in your gun?
You're looking for your vehicle. What kind of car do you drive?
Where you have your hand in your gun?
What kind of car do you drive?
It's my car, man.
Oh. Maupin, the officer, is shot. It happens that fast.
At what time did you think that it was time for you to address the use of force that was given?
When he came to the back of the vehicle, and was hiding, you know, I could sense something was wrong.
Scenario 2, a call of 2 men fighting.
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What's wrong with you?
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What do you want?
What's happening here?
What's wrong with
Back
you?
up.
Huh? What are you doing, man? Hey,
Hey, he shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me.
What happened in there?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You just shot him?
Hey, he rushed me.
Tell me why you shot.
Well, I've shot because he was within that zone. You know, I felt there was an imminent threat. I didn't necessarily see him armed, but he came clearly to do some harm to the officer, to my person. It's hard to make that call. It shakes you up.
Again, an unarmed man was shot. Scenario 3, a call about a possible burglar walking down the street. Maupin gets him on the ground. He's not complying.
I need you to keep your hands up, sir.
For what?
Because I need to check that waistband.
Well, why? What are you doing?
Because I don't know what you have under there.
Everybody, look at this guy. What are you doing?
No shots fired, but the suspect did have a hidden knife in his waistband. I went through the scenarios too, without seeing what Maupin did.
Well, do you have keys, or do you have anything to show me that?
Don't worry about it.
No, I need to talk to you. Come on out over here. Well, I'm dead. Maricopa County Sheriffs, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Both of you, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
For what?
Get back. Get back.
Same results for both of us. Things happen very fast out here. I asked Maupin what his biggest takeaway from this exercise will be.
I didn't understand how important compliance was, but after going through this, yeah, my attitude has changed. This is all unfolding in 10 to 15 seconds. People need to comply with the orders of law enforcement officers for their own sake.
And the UFC fighter Covington, he wasn't done with King James. He shot LeBron a tweet and said, "Hey, why are you rolling over for the Chinese communists? When are you going to speak up about Hong Kong? Oh, that's right, you can't. You're a Chinese finger puppet. You make millions playing a kid's game and talk about social justice, but have no problem paying Chinese women in sweatshops pennies to make your products. Slime ball," end of quote. Now, I'm not into calling people slime balls and picking fights for no reason, but on the issue of the suppression of Chinese minorities, Mr. Covington was spot on.
We've seen China's Muslim re-education camps the way the Chinese wanted us to see them on a tightly controlled tour earlier this year. And we've seen glimpses from leaked videos like this one. China says the camps stop Muslim Uyghurs from becoming extremists and offer free job training. But now an inside look in the Chinese government's own words. A leaked 9-page memo reads like a how-to manual, telling officials to strictly implement measures to prevent escape. That means 24/7 video surveillance, watchtowers, and double-locked doors.
The headline is, "We're doing something really nasty to a lot of people and it's secret."
Adrian Zenz is a German researcher who's considered an authority on China's detention of ethnic minorities.
Did someone take a huge risk in leaking these documents?
In Xinjiang, people have been sentenced to death for much less.
Zenz estimates up to 1.8 million Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities have been sent to the camps since 2017.
Now, come again, Mr. James?
I speak from a very educated mind. So I'm kind of the wrong guy to actually go at because I do my homework.
How educated, Mr. James?
1.8 million people in camps.
Well, it's probably the largest internment of an ethnic or religious minority since the Holocaust.
A series of classified bulletins show how easy it is to be singled out by the Chinese government for education and training. Simply using a certain app or communicating with people overseas can draw suspicion. In 2017, Rushan Abbas, a Uyghur American, stopped calling her family in China to protect them.
There are over 1 million innocent Uyghur people.
But then last year, she criticized China during a public panel in Washington.
6 days after I talked, my sister and my aunt both got abducted on the same day as a retaliation for my activism.
You don't think it was a coincidence?
I don't think so.
Her sister is still missing.
Again, Mr. James, nobody is saying shut up and dribble. We are saying make sure you know what the hell you're talking about when it comes to the alleged systemic racism against blacks by the police and when it comes to the suppression of Muslim minorities in China. Now, I've said this before. LeBron James is a man of great character. Raised by a single mom, he became a teen father, but he married the mother of his children, and he remains married to this mother. Why he doesn't talk about this as the most pressing problem in America and the most pressing problem in the black community is beyond me. 70% of black kids raised without fathers, as was LeBron James. He broke the cycle. Now, in the 90s, there was a cover story of Sports Illustrated with a little black boy holding a basketball, and the cover story read, "Where's my daddy?" And there's a former player turned agent quoted in the article as saying, for every player with no kid outside of wedlock in the NBA, there's a guy with 2 or 3. Again, by far a more pressing problem for blacks than the alleged anti-black systemic racism by the cops. LeBron James would be an ideal role model to push the message. Do not have children until you get married. Marry and make a commitment to the mother of your children. That would be a tremendous contribution to the community. Mr. LeBron James, if you're watching this video, I urge you to rethink your attitude about the police. I urge you to rethink your attitude about communist China. And I urge you to promote the idea that hard work wins. Finish high school. Don't have a kid until you get married. And make sure you get a job, keep a job. Don't quit that job until you get another job. And avoid the criminal justice system. Do those things, you will not be poor, and you would have done a great service to the country in general and to blacks in particular. Now, I know what you're thinking, oh great Eldersky. What is it you're wearing? Well, ta-da! To get yours, just go to uncletomshop.com. That's uncletomshop.com. And also, we have been demonetized, as you know, by YouTube. That's good news. Why is it good news? It means we must be doing something right. Now, to keep getting me uncensored and on demand, just go to larrytube.com. That's all, larrytube.com, because we've got a country to save. And I'll see you next time.